You are not dumb. Despite whatever you've been told, your brain can absolutely change. You can make it sharper on purpose. And in this video, I'm gonna give you 4 boring things that are gonna make you learn faster, focus harder, and genuinely start thinking at a higher level. All of the strategies used in this video are based on neuroscience. So this video that you're watching right now is probably the most important video you're gonna watch in your entire life. Your ability to learn is the skill sitting underneath everything that you want. It determines how much money you make, what jobs you can get, the people you end up around, who you date, who you marry. The whole shape of your life depends on your ability to learn. I'm gonna keep it quick because you, my friend, need this. A quick background about me. A few years ago, I was literally at the bottom of my class. A few years later, I graduated at the top of my class with an insanely high GPA. Today, I'm a medical student and working my way through school until I become a neurosurgeon. But enough about me, let's start with number 1. The things we're going to talk about in this video are boring. And the reason you have not heard about them is because boring stuff do not sell. There's a whole industry built on making you feel like getting smarter is one purchase away. There's focus supplements, there are courses, there are a lot of things that you can do because you think that you can become smarter. But when you actually read the research, which is something that I've done, you realize that most of the stuff that can make you smarter are free and boring. So let's get into them. Number 1, cardio. And no, you don't do cardio only to get abs and lose body fat. I'm talking about the kind of cardio where it's, slightly difficult, it's slightly hard, where you start to sweat a little bit, but you can still talk. And I know you clicked on this video because you wanted to get smarter. So you are probably expecting me to tell you read a bunch of books. So why the heck am I telling you to go for a run or walk on a treadmill? Stay with me here, because what it does to your brain is actually wild. When you do aerobic exercise, your body releases a protein called BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And BDNF acts as a fertilizer for your neuron. It helps them grow, it helps them connect, and it helps them survive. And the part of your brain that soaks it up the most is your hippocampus, which runs your memory. So here is the study that actually convinced me. 120 adults were split into 2 groups. One group walked for a year. The other just stretched. At the end of the year, they scanned everybody's brain. The stretcher's hippocampus had shrunk, which is normal. That's aging. Those people who are walking every single day, their hippocampus had grown around 2%. Now, let's be honest. That study, had older adults. If you're a younger person watching this video, the effect probably smaller and harder to measure because your brain is not shrinking yet. So I'm not gonna lie to you and promise you a bigger brain by next year. However, what I can absolutely tell you, because I've experienced this myself, on the day that you train, you focus better. And it's not a little change that you feel. Cardio is the closest thing to a real smart drug. And the only side effect of cardio is you getting in better shape and maybe losing weight or getting six-pack or, just being in better mood. So that's why I chose cardio as the number 1 thing that can help you become smarter. Number 2, sleep. And if I know my audience just a little bit, I know how you treat sleep, because I used to treat sleep the exact same way as you. You probably treat it as the thing you cut down on to get more things done. But that's actually backward, and it's costing you. When you learn something new, it doesn't get saved right away. It is sitting in your hippocampus, just like an unsaved document. Sleep is actually when your brain hits save. During deep sleep, it replays what you've learned during the day, and it moves it into long-term storage. So if you skip sleep, you skip that save button. And there's plenty of studies on this. Sleep deprive someone after they learn, and their memory actually gets measurably worse. Plus, their ability to take in new information the next day drops as well. So the all-nighter that you've been doing is actually a double loss. You forget what you've crammed and you learn less the next day. I used to do this myself for years. Cramming 12 hours, sleeping 4, and walking into the exam feeling foggy, tired, and, just screaming for caffeine. But then I flipped it and my scores actually improved. It honestly felt like cheating. So if you take one thing from this video, the all-nighter that you've been doing is not discipline. It's not productive either. It is honestly not that optimal. It's self-sabotage. And I personally know what you're thinking. Well, Hassan, there is nothing called balance. And I agree. There is no such a thing as balance. If you want to do something and excel, of course, you're going to sacrifice other areas in your life. That might be a relationship. That might be scrolling TikTok all day. That might be quitting your job because you want to focus on learning or starting a business. But if you want to sacrifice something, please don't sacrifice sleep. Number 3, the one that nobody does because it sucks and it makes you tired, but it's actually one of the things that will make you the smartest: active recall. When you are trying to learn something new, whether it's something that you want to learn in college or, just something that you want to learn because you find it interesting, don't read something and just read it again and again and again. No, close the book and try to explain to yourself what you've just read. That is the purest form of active recall. If you are doing it correctly, it's going to feel bad. You're going to feel tired. You are going to feel dumb, but that's the whole point. Now, I can talk about active recall for hours because it's genuinely one of the most rewarding things you can do if you want to become smarter or learn a new topic. But just understand this: read something, close the book, and try to write everything down on a blank page of paper. Repeat the same exact process the day after and keep repeating it with spaced intervals until you feel like you've got it. Let's talk about number 4, which is nutrition. People sometimes send me emails and, write in the comments, like, what should I eat to get smarter? The honest answer is that there's no genius food. There's not something that you can eat and magically become smarter. However, focus on getting enough of omega-3s. Don't spike your blood sugar right before you need to focus. Get plenty of water and eat a balanced and healthy diet. By the way, if you're curious about nutrition and want to understand what happens to the food once you eat it, you can check out my video on nutrition. In that video, I basically walk you through everything that happens from you eat something until you digest it and absorb it and, get rid of it. So you can watch it right here. This was today's video. It was a short one on how to actually get smarter by doing boring things that most people ignore. So I hope you liked it and see you in the next video.